Γεια σας μαθητέ, and welcome to the next installment of Is It Greek or Not? This is episode 2. So as you watch this, see if you can grab some of your Greek speaking friends and or your parents or your grandparents and test them and see what they know about their English and Greek. So your first word today is squirrel. Squirrel. Is it Greek or not? And you can pause and think about it. And surprisingly, yes, the word squirrel is Greek. It's easy not to think so because the QU might make us think of Latin. It's skiuros in Greek, and that's a compound word. It comes from skia, which is shadow, and ura, which is tail. So we get that ski and that ur, and we make skiur. And skiuros means one who creates shade with its tail or with his tail, which makes sense. Something to think about the next time you see one. Your next word is devil. So when we think of that little character with the horns, we think of a devil. Is this a Greek word or not? And yes, devil is a Greek word. It comes from this word, diavalo. And diavalo is a very interesting word. It means I badmouth someone, or I dishonestly attack, I criticize. Valo is like I throw or I hurl. And via has a couple of meanings. Usually it means like all the way through or across or something like that. So in English, we say we throw someone under the bus. So there's this idea that by throwing somebody, we injure them, or by dishonestly attacking, we injure them. So we have via, through and across, and volos is the one who throws. And from that word, we get diavolos, which is the devil, and we get the English word diabolical. And of course, it's not just English that benefits from Greek, because in Spanish we get diablo, and French gets diabolique, and there are many other words. Okay, the next word is volleyball, which in Greek is called vole or vole. There are two spellings. Is this Greek or not? It is a Greek word. The word, as we saw on the previous slide, is valo. And valo means, like I said, I throw or I hurl. And if you just listen to the word without even looking at the letters, val sounds like the vol in volleyball. And it's also, now if you look at the letters, where we get the word ball. So volleyball has two words in it that come from Greek. We have volley, which means throwing, and ball, which means a throwable thing. So when you play volleyball, you're throwing a throwable thing, I guess, if we take the Greek literally. And this is also where we get words like ballistic. When we talk about a ballistic missile, we're talking about a missile that we can throw over great distances. We can launch or send or hurl it to a place that's far away. When we throw our bodies, we might do something like ballet, the throwing of the body, the dance. And those of you who know the song La Bamba know the lyric, baila, baila, baila la bamba, dance. All of those words come from the Greek word valo. And by the way, if you're wondering what the official word, the official name of the sport of volleyball is in Greek, it's petosferisi. Peto means I throw or I give flight to, and sfera is sphere, the ball. Okay, here's your next word. Ble, which is blue. Is this Greek or not? It is not. The word comes from bleu, which is French. Now, that does not mean that Greek does not have its own words for blue. In fact, it has so many. We get galano and galazio, cyano, which some of you might recognize as the color cyan, C-Y-A-N, and thalasi, which is the color of the sea. That's sea blue. Your last word for this episode is flip-flop or sayonara. Is this word Greek or not? It is not. Interestingly, sayonara was first seen in the movie Sayonara, featuring Marlon Brando with a Japanese antagonist. And the first time most Greeks saw that footwear was in this movie. So they just called it sayonara. Can you imagine if they had seen flip-flops for the first time in Harry Potter? They would have said, "Hey, I'm going to the beach. I need to put on my Harry Potters." So the word sayonara, which does mean flip-flop in Greek, actually comes from the Japanese word goodbye, which most people learned from this movie. That's it for this episode. I'll come back with another one very soon. Sayonara.